Before beginning, we take a moment to acknowledge and to recognize that here in Nevada, we stand on the land of the Washishu, Washoe, Numi, Northern Paiute, Niue, Western Shoshone, and Niue, Southern Paiute. We take a moment to recognize and honor their stewardship that continues into today. With this recognition, we state an intention to rightfully include their voice and respect them as the 27 sovereign tribal nations of Nevada. Okay. Sue.
I'm here. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I am Sue Birch, and technically, I am the executive director, but nothing would get done without our dynamic team of incredible women. So I will introduce them now. You just met Eva Love. She is our secretary and Zoom control. Jerry Burton is now our director of programs volunteers and memberships. Yeah, get it right. I've got it written down too. You'd think I'd know. Laura Campbell is on here somewhere. There she is. She is our director of action. Sarah Evans is there in Oregon, and she is our director of fundraising. Shanse Aslam is our newest board member that we're very happy to have, and she is our director of programs and our coalition coordinator. Where am I? Michelle Maese. I don't think she's on here, but she is our director.
About 15 minutes late.
She's 15 minutes late. Okay, Michelle Maese is our director of outreach. Lenore Ng Briley is here somewhere. She is our treasurer, and we're so grateful to have her, and that she has been with now for so very long. And the one person who is away at school is Samantha Glover. She's our director of youth outreach, and she is studying hard at I believe at the University of Virginia. So nothing gets done without all of these fantastic women, and we're very happy to have all of you here too. So now I'm going to put my other hat on, and I am also the Nevada NOW PAC coordinator. And I know that non-judicial candidates are not going to be filing until a week from tomorrow, but we have decided to endorse 7 wonderful people, and Madalena is going to put up our graphics right now, and we want to acknowledge these 7 terrific candidates. And candidates, when you have a chance, if you will put your contact info and email information in the chat so people can reach out to you. You see on the top there, we have the wonderful Claire Thomas, who is now running for State Senate District 1. Nicole Canizaro, our Senate Majority Leader, is running again. Extremely happy about Camilla Bywaters running for CC Board of School Trustees, District E. Erica Mosca, who unfortunately can't be here today. She's in New York doing her thing, but she's running again for Assembly, as well as our friend and former now President, Venetia Considine. And then I'm going to mention Assembly District 25, Selena LaRue Hatch, who we endorsed in 2022 and did a great run and made us proud in the legislative session with her research. And we are very happy to endorse Erica Roth for Assembly District 24. So congratulations to all of you. We don't always make early endorsements, but we felt this election cycle, as all election cycles, are very, very important. We thought these 7 women were extremely important to get out there as our Nevada NOW PAC endorsed candidates. So congratulations to you all. Please don't forget to put your information in the chat. And if any of you on the call want to reach out to these candidates, volunteer, donate. I don't know how many of them are going to have a primary. I know Erica Roth does. and I know Camilla does. So we'll see what happens, but I know they could always use your help and support in any way, shape, or form that you can. So we thank them for being here, and we look forward to getting them all elected. So with that, we can unshare the screen, Madalena. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jerry with an update on membership and volunteers.
Thank you. It's so exciting. I'm so excited for the early endorsements. These are people that we've, just watched closely in our school board, assembly, senate. We're so excited. And so that's why most of you know, we're all volunteer, and we're everywhere, and we all take turns trying to be everywhere. So we're also membership driven. So with now it's $35, and there's also a sliding scale for membership. So if you haven't joined yet, please consider joining now. It's one of the ways we fund the organization, our local chapter. And also you can join or renew. So if you aren't sure if your membership is active, then you can reach out to me and I can check for you. Madeline, I think she's going to put some links in the chat, and if not, I can in a minute. But we will have a volunteer sign-up form, and we need people to do everything from canvassing. We're going to be in charge of March 16th for the Nevada Abortion Ballot Initiative to get signatures. So we're going to need people. We're not sure where we're going to be yet, but we're going to need people to go out and canvass and get those signatures. We've promised to get, I think 2,000 signatures over the next while. We'll have a few, three months, is it, Sue? And we'll have different Saturdays that we'll be responsible for. So we need people to sign up, and you won't be by yourself. You'll be with us. We'll be going together wherever they assign us. But we also need people, as you see, we do our endorsements, which we'll be doing throughout the cycle. And we need people to help with feminist candidates. So we table at events. We'll be tabling for the ballot measure, but also for letting people know who to vote for who we've endorsed. If you were with us with the state ERA campaign, we wrote postcards, we made phone calls, we knocked doors. So if any of those things are your thing, you don't care for knocking on doors, but you want to write postcards, you want to have a postcard party, and then bring a friend or 10, because we need as many as we can. And then also we've been running a donation push to fund our big campaign we have going this year. And so for $50, we're doing a Nevada Now keychain that seems real popular, and you'll also get Keep Abortion legal buttons and stickers. And then for $100, you get a whole bunch of stuff: keychain, buttons, stickers, and Nevada Now, our new Keep Abortion legal t-shirt. And, so any money you donate goes straight to our organization, and none of us are paid. It all goes towards our campaign. So we hope you'll help us and join in any way. Whatever you're volunteering, whatever you feel comfortable doing, we need you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and just to add to that, we do have a Saturday every month for the next 3 months where we're helping out the petition campaign, which kicked off yesterday. Our first date is the morning of March 16th. As Jerry said, we don't know where we're going. We said we'll go wherever they truly need the signatures. So it could be just about anywhere. And I think we've got a date every month for the next 3 months. So if you can help us out and let us know, we would love to have a team of at least 10 people every Saturday. More would be better, because based on yesterday, and if anybody was on here when we were talking about yesterday, it's going to be crazy, and we got to get this done, and we got to get this thing on the ballot. So with that,
well, I didn't. Maybe we need to do just a quick update on where the ballot measure is. Maybe not everybody knows what we're talking about.
It's the reproductive freedom healthcare act. It will put abortion into our state, the right to have an abortion in our state constitution. We need somewhere around 105, 110,000 signatures by the end of June in order to get it on the ballot in November. And then it will be on the ballot again in 2026 before it can be in the Constitution. The key is getting those signatures. We need 25% from each congressional district. That's why I say we could be going to any congressional district. And we have to have, I think, somebody from the vendor that they hired to gather these signatures. We have to have them with us. So we are part of the coalition as well as many other groups. And we had, like Jerry said, we have committed to getting a couple thousand signatures over the next 3 months, which I think we can do very easily. But it's all hands on deck to get this done, because we know it's what Nevadans want. We know the majority of Nevadans believe in reproductive freedom and believe in a person's right to choose. So that's a decision that should be left to the pregnant person and their family and their doctor. It does not belong in it does not belong in the politicians' hands. That Northern Nevada has stuff coming. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're in Northern Nevada, I know Selena LaRue Hatch and Erica Roth could probably use your help up there. We love it that we've got a couple of people on here from Northern Nevada, so yes. But yeah, reach out to us if you want to, and we can hook you up with the campaign. That's not a problem. We're talking all the time. So that cover it, Jerry? Okay. If there's any questions, we'll do some questions later. Right now, we've got 2 absolutely phenomenal guests, and I want to turn it over to Shanze to introduce our guests and have a great discussion.
Hey y'all, thank you so much. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Once again, my name is Shanze. I am the Director of Programs and the Coalition Coordinator. So one of my biggest goals is making sure we invite some amazing organizations that y'all might not be familiar with, and maybe you are, but now you will be. So first we'll have Dr. Tonya Wells, who is an independent scholar and educator who is passionate about teaching service and scholarship. Her work focuses on amplifying the voices and experiences of Black students, families, and communities, and dismantling systems of oppression rooted in race and racism. Her research interests include culturally relevant pedagogy, the school-to-prison pipeline, Black teacher counter spaces, racial justice for Black girls and women, and social justice leadership. Welcome in Dr. Walls, the founder of Code Switch, to share more about her organization and the work that they do.
Thank you. Greetings, peace, and blessings, everyone. Can you hear me okay? All right. I am just getting over COVID, and it's my first time ever having it. It was quite a difficult bout, but I feel good now. But my voice is still raspy, so let me know if I need to be louder.
You sound great. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. I am glad to be here. I am actually going to share using slides, which I don't typically do, but I want to make sure I get everything. So as Shanze said, my name is Tonya Wells. My preferred pronouns are she, her, we. We stands for the understanding that I realize that my ancestors are who power me, and they're with me always. And you are looking at the lovely group of girls and women and gender expansive people who form the Code Switch family. I also want to give tribute to Ubuntu. I'm offering this as a representative of a collective. And so at Code Switch, we honor our connection to each other, the land, and everything around us. And that is situated in Ubuntu. And so it's incumbent upon me to say that I am you, you are me, we are one. Were it not for you, I wouldn't be. Really honored to be here today and absolutely amazed and inspired by the work that you all are doing. So who is Code Switch? We are an intergenerational community of Black girls, women, gender expansive people, and racial justice co-conspirators. All of us are committed to gender equity and racial justice, and most important, liberation for Black girls. I'll talk about why we focus on Black girls in a moment. Together, it is our goal to curate healing spaces where Black girls can show up as their whole selves, thrive, and achieve. And we also create opportunities for Black and other girls of color to become justice-focused change makers in their communities. Uh-oh. All right. Our mission is multifold, with an overarching umbrella being to eradicate the educational inequities that Black and other girls of color experience. We work alongside girls, and I'm going to underscore the word alongside, not for or to or on behalf of, but truly alongside our girls, as well as those who parent, care for, and mentor them, to remove barriers that keep them from achieving their full potential. We really do believe that those who are impacted are best positioned to come up with solutions to remove the barriers that they face. And so that's why it's important for us to communicate and to always strive to work alongside the girls we serve. We also envision schools and communities as spaces where Black girls can show up as their whole selves, thrive, and achieve. That is our definition of liberation. It's both aspirational, practical, and mental. We're committed to curating these spaces by dismantling oppressive systems. And so while we realize that bias and prejudice and all of those things exist, we really are focused on systemic change, much in the same way that you are through your legislative advocacy. And our focus is really historically excluded and minoritized young women, as well as their gender expansive peers. Our values are fourfold. We had a long conversation about our focus on Black girls, and a little bit of that is shaped by our origin story, which I'll tell in a moment. But we really wanted to be really clear that our primary focus is Black girls because they are the only group of girls, especially here in Nevada, who are disproportionately impacted by almost every indicator connected to the school to prison nexus. And by school to prison nexus, we mean the relationship that pushes girls, the relationship between institutions that pushes girls out of school and into poverty and prison pathways. So Black girls are a value. We value who they are. We value their brilliance. We value their power. We don't empower them. They already have power. We create pathways and opportunities for them to tap into that power. We also value connection, hence my start with Ubuntu. We clearly understand that we are not our sister's keeper, but instead we are our sister. We see our sister in ourselves. We see each other in ourselves, and it's incumbent upon us to take care of each other. Community is also something we value, and so a lot of our work entails building community, both internally and externally, and then also healing and in community and transforming community. And then finally, liberation. We believe that girls, all girls, especially Black girls, deserve to be free, deserve to actually have choice over who they are as they are becoming. And we believe they deserve to be exactly who they were born to be. And so that is our life work and our passion work. Just a little bit about how we came to be. You should first know that I was a K through 12 educator. That was my aspirational career. I could never have imagined I would be doing anything else. However, after moving to Nevada and working in the Clark County School District, I had an encounter connected to the school to prison pipeline. Essentially, I started to see the way young people were treated around discipline, especially punitive and exclusionary discipline. And I noticed the differences that Black students experienced, and especially girls. And when I hear people talk about discipline disproportionality, there was a heavy focus on Black and brown boys. And while there should never be a comparison, and it's not an oppression Olympics, I do think the conversation around what's happening to our girls gets obscured by that gendered focus. And so after experiencing something transformative related to my own work as an administrator and having to carry out discipline, I decided to leave the district because my values didn't align with what I was being asked to do. At that time, it was very difficult for me because I didn't see myself doing anything other than K through 12 education, and I was really missing working with young people. A community leader and someone who I had the pleasure of working with when I was at West Prep, former Assemblywoman Casina Boone, invited me to do a Kwanzaa circle at the school she was working with at the time. And that circle turned into multiple circles over a long period of time. And as I started to listen to the stories that girls were sharing, and as we started to notice that even though the circles were for girls, all girls, almost 100% of the girls who would show up in the space would be Black girls. And that was because in the school, Black girls were overly represented. And so that's when we started to shift our focus to focusing on Black girls. And as we listened to their stories also told us what it is that they needed. At that time, one of the girls who was in the group, I invited to go to a conference with me in Baltimore. And when we came back, one of the girls said, why is it that the kids on the East Coast are so involved in their community, especially around advocacy and especially around civic engagement? And why don't we have organizations in Nevada like those? And so in my mind, I said, well, we may not have them, or maybe we do and we just don't know about them, but why can't we create one? And so because I was in higher education at the time, I launched a research initiative that focused on helping girls understand school to prison pipeline and what was happening to them, but also freedom dreaming. That's our word for coming up with an action plan or a goal to transform what was happening to them. And that particular research initiative turned into Code Switch, the organization. And our core program, the Youth Justice Fellowship, became our primary program. And so that's a little bit about how Code Switch got founded. One of the special sauces of our organization, beyond just being a mentorship program, is that we take a restorative approach to board service. And so I'm proud to say that our board actually comprises a multi-generational group of Black girls and women, with young women aged 14 through 24 taking the lead. And then they are mentored with, they're paired with professional women who also serve on our board as guides. And so our goal has always been to transition to youth-led. And this last year, we made that final transition. So we now have a co-executive director who many of you have met before because my introduction to NOW was through this young woman. Her name is Naika Belazaire. She came to Code Switch when she was in 10th grade and a student at ATEC in Las Vegas, and she's now a second year, 4-year scholarship student at Howard University. She's also now the co-director of Code Switch, Restorative Justice for Girls of Color, and we're transitioning to an all-youth-led board. So we have 6 young women who serve on our board as well. And we're really, really proud about that. And then I serve in a mentored relationship with Naika to make sure that she understands what it means to lead an organization like Code Switch and to provide her with resources and support so that she can do that successfully. The opportunity that Code Switch is most focused on is the school to prison pipeline. And so we know that Black girls in grades K through 12, including here in Nevada, are 4 to 6 times more likely to be expelled and suspended from school, 4 to 6 more times likely to be arrested on school campus and 2 times more likely to be subject to restraint at school. They're also more likely, because of their expulsion and suspension, to be pushed out of school and into what we call poverty or prison pathways. And so school becomes the first place of introduction to the criminal legal system. And that's what we're trying to stop. We call that school-induced collective trauma. We often talk about trauma, but we talk about it from an external standpoint when in school spaces. We often talk about what's happening in family and community without talking about what's happening in school too. And so our organization blends the three, with our primary goal being to look at what's happening in school to keep girls from engaging fully. And we have a theory of action that proposes 3 solutions. One is to eradicate exclusionary and punitive discipline in K through 12 schools and decrease the number of Black girls being pushed out. And so one of the solutions to punitive and exclusionary discipline is restorative justice when implemented with fidelity and according to what we know are evidence-based practices. And so that is our major advocacy initiative. As many of you know, many of our legislators actually participated in turning around the legislation we had on the books to sort of advocate for restorative justice. And so we're hoping to revisit that, and we're hoping to get more community support because it's needed. And then we also think that strengthening the pipeline of Black women leaders, providing girls with mentorship, is a way to support them as they pursue their own freedom dreams. Code Switch uses 4 pillars to guide our work. That's critical mentorship, restorative advocacy, youth-led advocacy, and YPAR. And I want to just give you a sampling of what all 4 look like within the context of our work. So critical mentorship is a mentorship that says that it's a reciprocal relationship. It says that not only should we mentor the whole student, which means that we don't look at mentorship through a colorblind, culture-blind lens. We actually bring the whole child into the mentored relationship. If we're mentoring young people who come from communities of color, then race and racism are an important factor in that mentorship, or in unpacking how those affect the young people we are working with. So it's very intentional. It's also a mentorship that says we flatten hierarchies, and we understand that young people also have voice and agency, and that they have something to teach us. And so we say it's a reciprocal mentor relationship because it's not traditional with the older person or more experienced person pouring into the young person, but the young person also pours just as much into the adults. One of those programs that was developed under the critical mentorship pillar was developed by youth leader Naika Belizaire. It's called Rose from Concrete. It's a summer peer mentorship program. She developed it when she was a junior in high school. This will be her 3rd summer of running the program. And it's a program where high school girls and gender expansive young people mentor girls who are in middle school and elementary school. And it has a self-love approach, and it also fosters college career and entrepreneurial focused mindset by bringing in professional women who serve as mentors for a day and or who are paired with the young girls in the program, and those girls get to shadow them to work for a day. And the pictures you see are from the Rose from Concrete program. In terms of restorative advocacy, we believe it's not enough to work with our girls. We also have to make sure that schools are humanizing, culturally responsive, safe spaces for girls to learn. And so we launched our Transformative Justice Educator Fellowship in fall 2022. We actually just onboarded our 2nd cohort. And Transformative Justice Fellows are women of color educators who receive a stipend, curricular support, and coaching to facilitate restorative circles in school and or community spaces. And they learn how to work with girls using a culturally affirming curriculum. And they also help girls develop their confidence, resilience, racial literacy, communication, and leadership skills. On the screen, you are looking at Camille Owens, who was one of our first inaugural cohort fellows, and the girls that she worked with. We love this program because it's also an opportunity to bring parents into the fold and to really work with them around affirming their daughters as well. And then we also, under the restorative advocacy, teach courses or offer courses to community members so that they can increase their understanding and knowledge of how to use restorative justice education, not as just a response to conflict and harm, but also to create culturally affirming and healing community spaces where students can show up as their whole selves. In terms of youth-led advocacy, this is our core program. This was the very first program that we launched under Code Switch. It's called the Youth Justice Fellowship, and it works parallel to our Educator Fellowship. We offer young girls in high school who are passionate about improving education or providing an equal access to education for girls with a stipend and mentored support to develop an actionable justice project that will transform the school and community in some way, and will transform it based on an issue that they find relevant to advancing girls' rights. And so on the screen, you'll see the Project Spotlight, which is our Overachievers Education Fund. It's a micro grant program that one of our Youth Justice Fellows created when she was a sophomore in high school. She's now a second-year, four-year student at Yale University. However, she still runs this program. And essentially, every month, they give out $250 grants to youth of color who have a dream of accomplishing something in education, but can't access that dream because they don't have the finances to do so. And it can be anything. It can be, I'm applying to college and I need application fees. It can be, I want to do extracurriculars, but can't afford to participate because of the things that I need to buy for it. It can be sports, but need equipment. It can be, I just want to provide respite for my family so they don't have to worry about, me and fees I might be incurring at school. And the picture you see is one of our awardees. We've awarded over $5,000 to 20 young people or 24 young people across the Las Vegas Valley. And this month, I think we hit a peak. We have 65 applications. We're trying to increase our application load so we can increase the funding for this program and hopefully one day fund every student who applies. And then just some of our fellowship achievements. So Deja, the young woman pictured, created the Overachievers Education Fund. She also, during her fellowship, was really interested in School to Prison Pipeline, and so she was able to be featured in a PBS special on School to Prison Pipeline. You can Google it and see her. She was one of the interviewees. So she talked about its impact and the racial disparities that happen here in Clark County. And then Naika, who's another one of our former fellows, worked with Senator Dina Neal to help pass the Crown Act. She shared her story and then, just help raise awareness about the bill across the Valley. And that was something significant to her because the discrimination she faced in school, in high school, was around her hair. And so she shared her hair story during that advocacy. And I should also say, before I move on, that last year we launched our advocacy arm where we have young people who are interested in learning how bills work and interested in working with legislators, kind of visit Carson City and advocate for bills. And last year we were advocating to keep the restorative justice bills. And so we sent 4 young women up to Carson City to talk to their legislators about why that was important. And we plan to expand on that work as well. And then finally, we know that it's important that our young people develop a strong sense of self and that they understand that they come from something bigger than the narratives that we hear here in the U.S., which is typically centered around the enslavement process. And so we sponsor cultural immersion experiences. The last 2 years, we have gone to Ghana. We plan to go to Ghana again in summer 2025. This summer, we're doing a Sankofa trip to the American South so that we can visit the civil rights movement, well, enslavement through the civil rights movement, and understand that history from an experiential perspective. And then finally, one of the ways that we also build our collective knowledge and take care of ourselves is through our annual leadership retreats. We sponsor 2. One is a youth leadership retreat. That retreat is usually out of state, and we try to pick locations where there is an HBCU so that we can also inspire an interest in college. 2 years ago, we went to DC. This last year, fall, we went to Spelman College in Atlanta. And then we do a Black Girl Leadership Retreat, which is an internal retreat. It's how we welcome in our fellows, both youth and educators, and then get them ready for their program year. That usually happens in January. It's a lot of fun. And the retreats are content-oriented, self-care, and community building. So a lot going on. And it's just a weekend to expose girls to something different than what they might normally experience in their everyday life. And then finally, I think what's relevant to my time here with you is that we're very clear about what our one issue is, but we also have what we call solidarity issues because we are about advancing girls' rights. And so some of our solidarity issues are expanding the pipeline of Black teachers working in K-12 schools. We had a couple of girls who worked on a research initiative this 2 years ago to really understand that issue. Protecting Teach the Truth, so making sure that we have books and curriculum and field trip experiences that highlight and amplify what students of colors and their communities bring to the American landscape. We want to grow the numbers of counselors, social workers, psychologists in schools, especially those who are learned in restorative practices. Eradicate anti-Black policies and improve school safety. Sans police on campus, we believe safe schools don't necessarily involve police and that there are better ways to hold our students safe. Increase cultural competence of K-12 educators, and then all of the justice issues that impact girls and women, especially Black girls and women, so Black women's maternal health, eliminating sex trafficking, access to affordable housing and healthcare, resources for unhoused girls, environmental justice, stop hate focused on trans people and the LGBTQIA community, and protecting civil rights, including Title IX and including those that you were speaking about earlier in our time together, which is, maternal health and making sure that we have choice. And I've spoken a lot, so I'll try to be really quick. I have 3 more slides, I think. These are just our priorities for the coming year. Even within those priorities, though, we're also working through our programming. These are some of our partners and investors, both locally and nationally, who have either supported our work through philanthropic giving or who we have worked with on advocacy initiatives. And then ways that folks can support us. We are an early start organization. We look really flashy on social media, but we are, just at the front end of our story. And so donations in the form of supplies or in-kind services or money is always helpful. You can become a sponsor for one of our events. Our events provide direct service to educators and youth. And so when you sponsor, you know that your money is going towards those folks. Becoming a member, we just launched a member campaign. We're trying to build a coalition of folks who are committed to advancing girls' rights, and especially through a restorative lens. And if not a member, then a mentor. And mentors are preferably women from any background who are committed to racial justice and who can provide our young girls with support and can push them into their power. In next month, which is coming in a few weeks, we are going to be asking for adult advisory board members who serve in a critical mentor role to help support the girls who are taking on leadership in communications, finances, grant making, and community outreach. And so if you're interested in supporting our organization and our young people in that way, please be on the lookout for that. Of course, you're always welcome to come volunteer at tabling and other events, and becoming a community partner. If there are ways that we can advocate together, then let's get free together. And I'd like to close with these words because I think it's the epitome of what our organization stands for. I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept. And I think that exemplifies you all to the max. All right, that's it. So any thoughts or questions? And I will share the slides so you will also have our contact information, which is on the last slide.
Perfect. That was going to be my question, Tonya, was how do folks donate, become sponsors, and stay in contact with Code Switch?
Okay, so I know that was a mouthful, but if you have any questions, I can answer them, or if they come after this period, you can just shoot us an email and somebody will get back to you.
I'm just going to say thank you, Dr. Wells, for being here. Based on everything I've seen in the chat, just a phenomenal amount of imagination or presentation. I think we're all a little overwhelmed too, but I think Nevada Now and Code Switch can do some very good stuff in the future, and I hope this is just the beginning of our conversations. So that was that was overwhelming.
Yeah, I know it's a lot. Believe me, if you think that was overwhelming, think about how it feels to try to hold all those balls. But what I will say is this, one area that we are trying to grow out, and I'm going to be very transparent. I am a K through 12 educator who accidentally became a higher education professor who accidentally found herself in nonprofit work. And that nonprofit work entails policy advocacy, right? And that is an area where we'd like to grow, and we'd like to provide girls with opportunities to grow their knowledge. It's not necessarily my wheelhouse. And so that may be a way that we can definitely work together in support of the girls, especially as we grow our Sankofa Sister Circles.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks, Sue. Does anyone have any other questions for Dr. Wells? Not seeing any. Thank you.
I'm just going to interrupt for a second because Michelle has joined us. Hi, Michelle. Any comments or anything, Michelle? No? Okay.
Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Wells. It is very, very, very inspiring to see the commitment to leadership development and the youth-led organizing that Code Switch exemplifies. So thank you so much for coming on. For the presentation, you said you'd be sharing it out. Will you be sharing that, dropping that into the chat? You're muted.
Always do that. I'm going to connect a one-pager, which will have our contact information, and then I will try to put the slides in there. If it's too big, I'll email it to you to email
Perfect.
out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Everyone, please give some love to Dr. Wells for coming on tonight. And now I will move us over to our second speaker. We have Coach Ashley Dodson, who is a dedicated mompreneur and passionate advocate for empowerment. Originally from Los Angeles and based in Las Vegas, she has cultivated her entrepreneurial spirit while pursuing her education and raising a family. Graduating with a degree in mass media and journalism and a minor in marriage and family therapy, Ashley's journey has led her to become a certified life coach, specializing in holistic well-being. alongside her roles as Membership Engagement Manager at the Urban Chamber of Commerce and now the chair of the Nevada Women's Democratic Caucus. She tirelessly champions her for businesses and women's rights, embodying resilience, integrity, and compassion in all her endeavors. Welcome, Coach Ashley, the founder and president of Lovee Inc.
Wow, thank you so much, Shanzay. Good evening or good afternoon, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. After Dr. Tonya Wells' presentation, I am blown away. So I'm excited to be here to tell you all a little bit more about myself and our organization, Lovee Inc. So as Shanzay mentioned, I am a transplant here from Los Angeles, California. I'm going to show you all a couple of slides as I come here by way of some great grandparents who instilled a lot into me, starting with a faith base and making sure that education was key. Also from my mother, who also instilled education in me that pushed me to pursue not only my undergrad from UNLV, but also my master's in social work from USC. And then shout out to Ms. Tonya. I heard you say that one of your, I believe it was your executive director, went to ATEC. So that is also my alma mater. I went there for high school. So that's amazing. So just to be able to listen to the things that we're talking about when it comes to women's history, and then of course, me being here as a Black woman for Black History Month, I'm amazingly grateful to be here with you all. So I'm gonna share my screen. Can you all see it?
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. Oh, now?
It's coming up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you all for your patience. So here is our logo. Lovee Inc. is Ladies of Virtue Eclectically Excelling. We came up with this logo and we've been incorporated. We're a nonprofit 501c3 since 2018. And the basis of this this logo was inspired by having a heart and for the life of service. And then the wings were inspired by the faith and knowing that we are led by a higher power. So this is our board. These dynamic women have been alongside me for quite some time, and I'm definitely grateful for them. As you can see, my name is Ashley Dodson. I'm the founder and the president. I have our executive director, who is Shakita Charles, Kasai Cooks, who is our secretary, and then also Miss Asia Duncan, who is our treasurer. Our mission is dedicated to empowering and motivating and uplifting women to new and exhilarating heights. Our organization is dedicated to servicing and involving youth, young ladies, and women through a life of service, education, compassion, and love. Lovee Inc. believes in educating and empowering all youth and women by giving them the tools and resources necessary to succeed and thrive in society, practice love and respect of self, and express and respect to other women. And often you will see me put the hashtag to spread love. That is essentially what our overlying mission is, to make sure that we are inclusive and always with community. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and tell you all a little bit more about the organization. So overall, as I mentioned, acts of service is what we have been dedicated to doing through a life of empowering. We want to make sure that our youth are given the tools. We do that through financial literacy. We have partnered with SCE Credit Union here in town, who have been graciously providing us with tools. That way we can make sure that youth are empowered to know how to save, to invest, and to be a part of this community and be able to be well equipped with how to move forward with their lives. We also believe in holistic education. We do that through personal development and leadership training. We prepare them with job readiness and vocational skills, and we do this with equipping them through volunteerism. So we often volunteer with other organizations and do a lot of collaboration, like with whom we hope soon, Nevada Now, And also we promote through leadership. Oftentimes we do workshops and we have programs that assist with helping our youth to become more confident, utilizing positive affirmations. We help to build positive impact through their mental and emotional well-being, and also expressing that one of the core things to building healthy relationships is to build community. And by doing that, coming together. We also host quarterly events. One that is coming up is going to be our Easter egg hunt. So please, if you have any littles, children, grandchildren, please be sure that they are able to come. We do service marginalized and underserved populations, so it will be at a hosted park located in North Las Vegas. We also do Thanksgiving drives where we give back to underserved communities as well. We have now given over 500 meals. I can proudly say, and I'm grateful, we are a grassroots organization. Most of our funding has come from our own pockets. We have just now began becoming more of an organization doing fundraising. So we look forward to being able to partner with other collaborative organizations and raising those funds in order to make a greater impact in our community. We also host a yearly toy drive, our annual toy drive, whom 98.5 KLUC has partnered with us on each, and Help of Southern Nevada, who has always been graciously giving us presents and toys, and also bikes that we have given over to 500 families over the last 5 years. So we are grateful to have been able to continue to do that. And then we also have the gift of warmth, where we give back to those who are unhoused. We practice making sure that we always do the life of service. So with that is we collect donations for jackets, blankets, and other housing needs. We also have been able to provide assistance for housing with also utility bill assistance. And then, of course, community engagement, making sure that we're fostering a life of cohesion and bringing people together through our events and programs. And then, of course, we want to make sure that we're always having impact and results. And with that is through our efforts to see tangible results for increased educational attainment, to improve through jobs, prospects, and financial stability, and making meaningful difference in the lives of individuals and communities. And then, of course, our call to action is that we always want to invite others to join us in the mission to empower, motivate, and uplift youth and young women. Some of the great things that have just happened, we were actually chosen as one of the grant awardees from the NFL through the Super Bowl Grant Award. So we are looking to partner with several people in this initiative to make sure that we have some amazing programs. We also host a monthly support group. We actually just had one this past Thursday. Grateful to Nevada Partners for providing a safe space for us, where we are able to talk about all things women, relationships, parenting, because we know that that isn't the easiest thing, and focusing on our mental health. And then we also host the annual vision board party. That way we can bring some fun to it. We get to talk about our hopes, dreams, and goals, and our aspirations. Amongst food, we believe that dining together, you get to talk about things and be your most authentic self. And just being able to organize and bring each other together. So that is more information about Love Inc. I'm definitely going to make sure that I drop our website and things in the chat. And then, as we had mentioned, I'm going to move on to my new role as the chair for the Nevada Democratic Women's Caucus. I am so amazingly excited. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. I am definitely grateful to have been looked at as a servant leader who has the capacity to be able to fill this role. I'm looking to be able to build and organize a community of women wanting to organize and mobilize, and also coordinate definitely with Nevada Now, whom I know has been able to gather women and get them to lead. I am so grateful and overwhelmed with joy to be able to have my emerge. Where'd she go? I just saw her disappear. Miss Dana Lovell, the executive director. Yes, there she is. Who not only has made a major impact in my life as far as policy and advocacy, but was able to help push me into this position alongside DMM Danielle Monroe Moreno, our Assemblywoman. So I am looking forward to making a great impact and hoping that I will have all you ladies who are on this call to join us. That way we can definitely push the initiatives forward. As we were talking earlier, I heard the conversation, just hearing everybody so passionate about those things that matter to us as women, and reproductive freedom obviously is one of those things that are going to be top of the conversation. And I want to be able to speak to that, being a mother of four, having my own personal testimonies, knowing what it's like to have to make a choice at 16 and 17 years old. I believe that every woman, anyone who chooses to have a child, or if they are not in the position to do so, should have the right to make that choice. So I am absolutely excited. We're going to drop some information. Dana, if you can drop that in there so that they know, if we can all put our email addresses in there, that way we can contact you all. We would love for you all to be on board. And just to let you know, whatever it is that I can do to push women forward, please don't hesitate to contact me. And I truly look forward to being in community with you all in allyship. And I appreciate you all for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you so much. Please make sure you drop in the chat the ways that we can, the upcoming dates that you mentioned, and how we can follow up with that information. If you have your Facebook or Instagram handles, even for you, Dr. Walls, share that in the chat. That way we can all follow up. And I saw the documents posted earlier. Was everyone able to get those for Code Switch's one-pagers? Those were in the chat earlier. Perfect. Thank you both so much for joining us. I really appreciate everyone's time today. I'm going to pass it back over to Sue to close us out.
I don't even know if I can speak. I think the work that Dr. Walls and Ashley are doing is incredibly important. I think for the most part, we knew the need for it to a certain extent, probably not how deep, so we appreciate the enlightenment. Like I said earlier, I see a lot of collaboration. We would be honored to collaborate with both organizations, and thank you for both of you for the kind words about Nevada Now. We really strive to be collaborative and inclusive. And yeah, those of you who know me, you know I'm getting a little teary-eyed here. I think the work you're both doing is just phenomenal. Both your organizations. The thing that keeps running through my head, it's phenomenal work, but it shouldn't be necessary, and that's what's getting to me. It's a shame that we are in this position, and organizations have to still continue to do this work for all women, for children, for all of it. And I don't want to get too deep and emotional, but I'm excited because there's organizations like both of yours that we can work with. And I will point out, as I watched the screen, and we have a number of legislators on here, and knowing them, I know they were all taking notes, including we do have Clark County's school board trustees on here too, and they were taking notes. I can always tell, as well as other community members that were on here were taking notes. So I always, having done a lot of speaking in public over the years and given workshops and that. When people are taking notes, it's a very positive thing. So with that, if anybody has any questions or anything they want to say or add, raise your hand, unmute yourself. But I'm ever so grateful for the two of you taking the time to come on here.
I was just going to ask if Dr. Wells could also email us the presentation. We can include some of it into our email we send out to all of our members. So, and you know, any social media either of you want us to share. We have several of our board members that help with social media. Would love to be able to you know, tell people about you and how to donate and get involved. So thank you so much. It was very inspiring.
And I will say there is some early conversations going on about some legislation that is in that wheelhouse of what your organizations do. So look forward to us reaching out to you about that. Anybody else?
Eva has their hand raised.
Oh, Eva.
So, as you know, I'm very passionate about this, putting the reproductive freedom into the Constitution. Last night, I was thinking about all the people I know who would sign the petition. And yesterday, I asked you, you know, how do we get the petition so we can sign? And you said there's a training we need to go to. Do you know when that training is?
No. And talking to Cassie yesterday, I brought it up to her that in order to I confirmed the dates that we are canvassing, and I said, you know, we need to be trained. She said, I know. She said, I'll reach out after the event yesterday. So we probably will know more later this week, because
Okay.
I don't believe we can just go by ourselves. I believe we have to have someone from the vendor they hired to go with us. Yes, the petitions are available, but they're tightly controlled. They're because there is an actual company that's running the petitions, and they have to be notarized. And it's a very careful process because we want to make sure no petition gets tossed. So yeah, we don't have control over the petitions. We can't just go say, hey, give me a petition, and we'll go, you know, run around. It's a process they're coming up with, and as soon as we know more, we'll let you know. But no, they know because I don't know what I'm doing. But
Well,
they'll let us know.
I think we'll be able to share other dates, Eva, that we, you know, maybe not our weekend when we're doing it, but there's going to be like every Saturday, there's going to be something. And I think they're going to be working on being in different community events, but that would probably be Cassie and Tova, who are running the campaign. They would, you know, head those up. So we can let people know like when we find out locations so that people can go to it.
There was talk of starting the Saturday morning petitioning next Saturday, the 2nd. I don't know where. But when we know that, we'll not only put that out on social media, we'll put it out in an email. And to go back to the candidate endorsements, this is just the beginning of our endorsements. Keep an eye out. We're going to be doing, it's a whole process that we'll be doing over the next few weeks. So email, social media, we'll let you know who all we're endorsing. Plus, we'll put it up on our website. But yeah, Eva, as soon as we know, we'll tell you. But yesterday was just the beginning.
Monalena, do we have something that we can put in the chat that links to our social media, how to follow us if they don't already?
You mean just like the links to our socials?
Is that Linktree? Maybe that Linktree or something?
Oh yeah, I could drop that in.
I just thought that way they could follow us, and because that's where we do like a every other week email, but we're on social media daily. So
It seems like. I muted myself. Anybody have anything they want to say or Like I said, please, all the candidates put their emails in there and their websites, reach out to them. I know, like I said, I know Erica Roth is going to have a primary, and we'll need some help. I don't know if anybody's running against you, Selena. I doubt it. Yeah. But yeah, just a big thank you for you all being here, and I know you'll have a tough general, yeah. Everybody's going to have a tough general, so we'll get out there.
I'm loving Selena's t-shirt and posters behind her, so.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my gift last session. I felt like I had to rock it, so here we go.
But yeah, just and if you're not on our email list, oh yes, and Claire has a primary. I wasn't forgetting you, Claire.
And Claire has her hand up.
Go ahead, Claire.
Thank you. I just wanted to verbally say thank you. I really do appreciate, the endorsement. It means more to me than you will ever know. So thank you so much.
I got a smidgen of an idea. Smidge.
We are longtime Claire lovers. We love you, Claire. This isn't a surprise to you, I know.
But yeah, I know, like I said, up in northern Nevada, I almost said Northern California. See, Ashley got me thinking about California. I am from SoCal. But yeah, Erica Roth could use the help up in northern Nevada. So if you know people up there, if you're up there, please reach out to her. And Claire Thomas and Camilla Bywaters could definitely use your help. I'm talking strictly primary down here for the primary, and we'll keep you posted on those kinds of things too. So with that, you can all unmute yourself, and we'll call it a day.
Selena has her hand up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'll be real quick. I just also wanted to echo my incredible colleague, Assemblywoman Thomas's remarks. I think NOW is one of the endorsements that I treasure the most because I think this is such a committed and conscientious group. And I just feel like such kindred spirits because you all dig into these issues so deeply and you're so passionate and you really walk the walk and talk the talk. And so I just wanted to say thank you. I'm so honored to be on your early slate of endorsements.
Appreciate it, Selena. Appreciate it.